Hi, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, even though we're an expense reduction consulting company, we like to promote and help other businesses get some social media presence for free. And today I have with me Ashley Wait with AWS Title. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning.
Absolute pleasure to have you on the show. So first of all, tell the viewer a little bit about who Ashley is, and then we'll get into a little bit more about who AWS Title is. So who is Ashley Wait?
Well, that's a loaded question. Thank you so much for having me. I always say that I'm a wizard because I'm a paralegal and I have been for 20 years, which is kind of what makes me up, I guess. And sometimes people ask me what my hobbies are, whatnot. And to be honest, I say I'm a wizard, someone who solves a problem you did not know you had in a way you do not understand. Definition of paralegal.
Yeah, so what do you like to do for fun, Ashley?
I like to work.
You like to work?
I like to help people.
You like to help people. We both like to do that. So Ashley Wait is a helper and a wizard and a paralegal. And we'll talk about the paralegal part as well. So tell the viewer, what does AWS Title stand for, and what do you guys do? Obviously, you're a title company. Give us an overview of what you do as a company. What does AWS stand for?
AWS stands for Assurance While Signing. We are attorney-owned and operated title insurance company. We also have a law firm. We are owned and ran by a real estate attorney of 20 plus years. We just offer an extreme level of legal background training. Prior to real estate, I was a probate paralegal. I've worked for estate planning, tax, corporate, elder law, family law, construction litigation, law firms. So I've been a practicing paralegal for 20 years. I've been a title agent for 13. And I absolutely love what I do. I think that the legal background that I have helps me extraordinary at my job. I know how to ask questions that some other people may not think to ask because of the comprehensive knowledge that I have with the other areas of law that affect a real estate closing.
Yeah, and for any of you watching this is one of the things that I really like about AWS Title. Not only is the owner a real estate attorney, Ashley is a paralegal, as you heard, in many different disciplines, but she brings the real estate paralegal knowledge to the table at closings for clients who are looking for title services. So apart from the legal part, what else do you guys bring to the table that other title companies don't? I mean, obviously they bring you, but what else do you bring to the table that other title companies just don't have?
Yeah, and it's tough because like most other professions, there's 1,000 title companies, right? 1,000 realtors, 1,000 lawyers. And for the most part, a lot of title companies can primarily do the same thing. One thing that title companies talk about is, they can do free mobile closings. Yeah, that's a nice service, right? We don't extend that cost to sellers and buyers. We go ahead and cover it for them. But I don't think that that's anything really special because everybody does it. But a lot of times that's what title companies say that they bring to the table is free mobile closings. But at the end of the day, they all pretty much do. Mm-hmm. Title insurance is set by the state of Florida. So no title insurance can charge more or less for title insurance. The different items that have different charges are a settlement fee, what I consider junk fees, wire fee, FedEx fee, document storage fee. So a lot of times if people are shopping around for different title companies, some of the more important questions that I feel that people should be asking is, what is your skill set? What is your background? Who is your underwriter? Because the underwriter makes a difference as well. Just like with sports, and I do have two boys, 8 and almost 14, and we've gone through the ringer with all kinds of sports. And I grew up playing soccer. I played college soccer in North Carolina. So I use a lot of sports analogies. But so if you envision, you have the varsity team and you have the JV team, right? So the varsity is typically a little bit more elite. It goes for the same for title company underwriters. A lot of title company underwriters vary and differ for different reasons. The big four that have always been is Fidelity, First American, Old Republic, and Stewart. Making sure that the title company has a varsity underwriter is extremely important, and it's a question that most people don't ask. So that also I think is important. We are, our underwriter is Old Republic through the fund, through the Florida Bar. So we have an extra layer of protection. You want to make sure that the underwriter has enough assets under management that if there is a claim for a problem or mistake, that they have enough money to pay out the claim if need be. I'm available all the time. Everyone has my cell phone,
Yeah.
which I don't mind giving out, because a lot of times real estate happens after hours. Real estate happens on weekends and evenings, and people need to be reachable. And I'm not a lawyer and I cannot give legal advice. However, I say I'm not a lawyer, but I play one on TV. I actually had somebody ask me one time, they thought I was actually on TV. I said, no, it's just a joke I try to say. But I like to help my realtor partners. I talk to sellers and buyers. I talk to lenders. I have an extensive, from COVID through now, 2020, 2021, when the interest rates were really low and everybody was moving to Florida. Over the course of 2, 3, 4 years, we were doing anywhere from 500 to 700 closings a year. And I have a team of people, which allows us to handle that many closings. But if you can imagine handling all those closings, all the different scenarios I've come across. So if it's some weird scenario, I've more than likely have handled it, dealt with it, can come up with a solution. I also like to say that I'm a solution specialist. I don't take no for an answer. I will find a way to get it done. I take pride in that. It's important to remember that buying and selling a home, or even handling intricate commercial closings, we do commercial closings as well. I've been a part of church closings, daycare closings, strip mall closings, farm closings. So any type of scenario, I've seen it. And I just, without sounding arrogant, I have a tremendous amount of knowledge, and I love to share the knowledge that I have and teach people the right way, right? There's, the law is black and white, but everybody interprets it in the gray, and there's right ways to do things and there's wrong way to do things. And I like to hold this profession, also what I call an industry, to a higher standard, to make sure that people are doing the right thing and doing the right thing legally, doing the right thing ethically, doing the right thing morally, sprinkling in common sense and kindness, to know that, people buying and selling something, it's sometimes people are selling because somebody passed away. Sometimes people are selling because they're going through a horrific divorce. Sometimes people have to sell for other reasons that are personal and emotional. And I think people sometimes lose sight of that. And I think that's also important to have some compassion and empathy for people along the way as well.
Fantastic, Ashley, because what I'm hearing from you is not only you're bringing the knowledge to the table, but you're bringing that experience, you're bringing that understanding, you're bringing that empathy. So those are amazing attributes to bring to the table for any company, but especially, as you say, when people are buying and selling homes, there's personal reasons for doing it, and you've obviously tapped into that from your knowledge, experience, and your empathy. So moving along a little bit, you're a local company based in Lutz in Florida. Where do you operate? Where would you help people with title?
Thank you for asking that. We actually are licensed and can handle closings all over the state of Florida. Because a lot of closings are handled with mobile notaries, it doesn't really matter where the property is located. I grew up in Sarasota. I lived in Naples for 6 years. I went to school at Florida State. So I have contacts and relationships with people all over. So we handle closings everywhere: Hillsborough, Pasco, Pinellas, Hernando, Sarasota, Collier County, Lee County, Orange County. We go to Orlando. Wherever the clients need us, wherever there's an opportunity to help somebody, we definitely like to be a part of it.
One almost final thing. Tell us a little bit about Tony, because I know that Tony, being a real estate attorney, and Tony is the owner and the leader of the organization. And when I was in your office like a couple of weeks ago, Tony said he couldn't have brought his company to where he was without you. And we can clearly see the knowledge and the empathy you bring to the table. But tell us a little piece about Tony, because people who want to learn more about AWS Title can learn a little bit more about who the owner is. So tell just very briefly who Tony is.
Tony's the best. So Tony is the fearless leader, but he doesn't walk in front of us. He walks beside us, as cliche as that may sound. He oversees every file. He touches every file. Everybody here has a very important role, from the processor to quote unquote the closer who balances the CD. I'm kind of a very unique hybrid model where most title companies' marketing person is simply that. They just do marketing and get branding and exposure out for the company. But I actually do marketing. I actually review the files. I prepare the legal docs. I send out the title work to the lenders. I'm reviewing the title commitment and sending that out to realtors. I'm coordinating the signings of the sellers and the buyers along with the marketing of the company. And Tony allows everybody to be who they are and grow and strive in their strengths. And so somebody said a long time ago, I'm like the Energizer Bunny. You just have to like wind me up and let me go. And I think over the years, we learned each other. And, you know, it's kind of like with new relationships, friendships, dating, marriages, you know, you learn what works and what doesn't and what to do and what not to do. And I think I've been here 7 years, maybe going on 8. And when I first came to Tony, he actually knew my husband, and I was making a change, and I came to him and asked him, you know, told him I was looking for a change and asked him if he would hire me, and actually asked him to meet me for coffee to talk about law and title. And at the end, I asked him, so will you hire me? And he said, well, is that what this meeting's about? And I said, yes. And he said, well, I'm not hiring anybody. And I said, are you sure? Because I really think I just need to come work for you. And, you know, 7 years later, here we are. So he cuts all the checks. He sends all the wires. He does a final review of all the files. He's here to answer any sort of legal questions in a real estate law capacity. He's kind, he's caring, he's compassionate. You talk about the important qualities to also have. Yeah. And we're a family here. We all have been together a long time. Tina, who works for Tony, also has been here 10 plus years. I've been here 7, give or take. Mary has been here 6, give or take. Another Mary has been here for 2. Another one, Quentin, has been here for, I think, maybe 4. So we don't have a whole lot of turnover. And that also, I think, speaks for the organization and the culture of the company. And we have one office, you know, we're small but mighty. And people ask, well, do you have other locations? And we don't. We have one office stationed here in Lutz, right outside of Carrollwood. But, you know, we don't really necessarily need so many offices because we can do the mobile notary signings, and you don't need really that many brick and mortars.
Well, Ashley, thank you very much. That has been amazing. So anybody that's watching this video, as you can see, what an amazing company, a small company that really feels like a large company because there's so much knowledge all the way from Tony at the top all the way down. And as you can see, the wind-up bunny here, Ashley is the one that kind of is the driving force of this business. So what an amazing company. Anybody looking for title, highly recommend AWS Title. One little fun fact I want to touch on before we leave, before we close this short interview, Ashley, is that I see you have a unicorn behind you. And for viewers that are not aware of this, the unicorn is Scotland's national animal. Obviously, I'm Scottish, and the unicorn's special to me. So tell everybody, what do you call a group of unicorns?
A group of unicorns is called a blessing. And I think everybody should have a theme. And my theme is unicorn. You have to be a unicorn in a field of horses.
Yeah, so there you go. We finished this interview off with a blessing. Thank you very much, Ashley. AWS Title and you are a blessing to the business world. Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.